here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the nightmare, but when I stopped to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now, to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try. If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have the time to fight. If I wake tonight, I'm so tired tonight, I'm falling asleep when I'm home. When I'm no way to go, no one that can see through that side. No lie. I can see my life is crap, I have to see them too. I just live into my world, far from the pain, the fear. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the start of it. But when I stop to see those eyes, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now, to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try. If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have the time to fight. If I wake tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'm falling asleep when I'm home. I was so wrong, I was so blind, I was so dumb and out of time. I was so wrong, I was so blind, I was so If I bleed tonight.
Race fans, it is almost time for the most exciting series on the iRacing platform, the X.Celerated VLR Super Late Model Series. Tonight, for the very first time ever, the VLR Super Late Model Series will hit the dirt track at Charlotte for a 50-lap feature event. 2 weeks down, two different winners so far, as last week saw John Fiddler take home the win at the Eldora Speedway. Week 1 saw Greg Thompson take home his first career win at the Volusia Speedway Park. Who will be the next driver to put their name in the prestigious victory lane right here at Team VLR? Dylan Wilson is your current points leader by just over 3 points over Justin Norwood. Wilson is the only driver to finish in the top 5 in both races that he's attended. Jacob Leverstein sits third in the standings with an average finish of 5.5 and one top 5 to his credit so far this season. David Heilman sits fourth in the standings with one top 5 and an average finish of 7.5. While last week's winner, John Fiddler, rounds out your top 5 in points, trailing Dylan Wilson by 13 points so far on the young season. Stick around as Joe White and the gang from the OSR Racing Network bring you all the action live on the X.Celerated Facebook page and TeamVLR.com.
Alright, Dirt fans, man, welcome alive tonight here. New track, new build, new exciting things here. VLR That's right, one of the big threes here, presented by X.Celerated here live on the Facebook page. Bringing this thing to you. We're live from the dirt track at Charlotte, North Carolina. That's my backyard right there. Not far from this place here. New track here on iRacing, and it's awesome, man. As you're seeing some of the sights and sounds going around here. Well, hey, everybody knows who I am, Joe White up here, but I have the exciting man from down under, Brett Wheeler. How you doing, Brett?
Yeah, doing good actually. I'm fairly excited to see what this track will do here on the Super Late Models. Nice and wide. It's kind of like a bit of an Eldora-like, except we don't have that inside ball. But so it's you know, with the two new tracks that got released earlier on today, and also that cushion as well. I tell you what, I've had some fun in the sprint cars around this racetrack, man. I'm excited to see what the Super Late Models can do.
No doubt about it. It looks like, man, we're already set here to go into our first qualifying of tonight. And these guys, man, of the VLR series and these super late models, they're going to put us on a show here. I know it's just going to be an awesome one here. Like I said, as I told myself, man, Joe White, Brett Wheeler up here. And, yeah, running the cameras myself up here, too. But that's what I've been doing, and I like it, enjoy it. It's new track here, Brett. You know, I'm not really familiar, even though it is a track that's kind of in my backyard. I have never been to this track, so it's one of those. It's a new place for me, really.
Yeah, well, look, it's I've seen it on, you know, watched it on the Dirt Vision and stuff like that. So, just yeah, a new track in general is always good. So. You know, it's a nice what, fourth of a mile, so a quarter of a mile. It's gonna be an awesome track as we're getting set for qualifying. Jacob Fields at the moment, each driver gets 2 laps around the dirt track at Charlotte. Jacob Fields, quick time, a fair margin at the moment with a 15.533. Drew Hirschko now goes into position number 2 with a 15.640. There we go. Yeah, it really can, but I tell you what, you know, is more interesting, the fact that those drivers, you know, they put that big right rear and they put it up against, you know, they lean up against the cushion. You obviously get more speed coming off the cushion as well. So, I mean, that's something, you know, that you got to, you know, consider, you know, whether you want to put your rotor up against the cushion, being so close to the wall, or whether you just want to, you know, have a good safe lap time, and then worry about your heat race as well. So, I mean, at the moment, you know, no one's come close to Jacob Fields, and just as I say that, wow, Dylan Wilson, car number 80. Over at nearly 2/10 quicker right now with a 15.376, and wow, that 80 machine. Well, we know what he's been like the past couple of weeks. He's certainly been a rocket ship, and now he's no different here again.
You know, new track, new build, and man, I tell you what, Dylan Wilson might have found something here. That man just came out of the gate right there, like you said, putting down an awesome time. I mean, he blistered Jacob Fields' time up there, almost. A little over, about almost 2/10.
Well, you have to go back to his first lap. It was a 15.7. I mean, you know, just to get your warm-up lap as a 15.7 and to knock, you know, nearly half a second off your lap time, you know, running that cushion on the outside of the racetrack, that just goes to show you how fast the cushion is at the moment. And I tell you, it's only going to get faster. And this is where a couple of things are going to happen in the heat races. One, we're going to see a couple of slide jobs. 2, we might see a couple of wrecks as drivers. You know, they might get that right rear over the cushion into the wall. Guys behind them might not have enough time to react, you know, to cross back underneath them and get away from the carnage. So, I mean, it's going to go one of 2 ways tonight in the heat races.
Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed, man, we were talking about this here in practice, watching these guys. There's a massive bump out there, and I said it. These guys are going to look like they're going to be out there Dukes of Hazzard in that thing. Very bumpy track from what I'm seeing. Hey, could knock a few teeth out, man, if he was in the real car.
Well, you know what? It almost goes to show that, you know, it's like a USA type with all those bumps on the racetrack, and a Volusia as well. Just look at the 42 of Virgil Graham. In that 15k, he's sitting 42k. He's sitting 15th quick at the moment. He's unable to go any faster. And at the moment, with the inversion, now I don't think I counted close to 40 cars. I think it was 38 or 39 cars. So, I mean, if we got 40 cars, you know, we're going to have 4 heat races. Virgil Graham in the number 42. He's going to be starting on pole in one of the heat races as well. So, you know, it's faster guys are going to come from the second row. And it's something that plays a big part every week here at VLR.
Absolutely, and these guys, man, are definitely going to storm around this place here. Like I say, folks, we're live here tonight. It's a new track here on iRacing. Not a new track in general as far as dirt tracking goes, but the dirt track from Charlotte here. And we're live here tonight with the VLR super late models. This is one of the big 3 series. And last week, I'm going to tell you what, I thought Brett was going to have a heart attack up here because, man, they went 4 wide at USA.
Eldora.
Eldora. Yeah, my bad.
You know what? Yep, I'm gonna excuse you. Howard Weaver in the 07, third quick with a 15.537. How about Lewis Stewart in the 666? 15.517. You're gonna qualify position number 6. And I tell you, that's not a bad result for him because, you know, considering that, you know, a lot of these guys are fairly big late model names. You know, for a guy that, you know, mainly runs sprint cars, he knows how to get away around a late model.
Absolutely. I mean, and a lot of these guys seem like they do. They're out here just, you know, definitely storming up a cool breeze. And, you know, these are open style setups, so these guys are able to make their own style setup and whatnot and feel what these cars are going to do. I'm just interested to see what it's going to be like when we get 9, 10 of these machines. And right now we're just seeing one at a time, especially as bumpy as this place is. You know, we've come accustomed last couple of weeks, you know, side-by-side synchronized style slides here. Just going to be interesting to see how these guys modulate this track and stay off that outside wall and whatnot, and stay off of each other for that matter.
Well, you know, I guess time will tell, but, you know, we're coming up to, you know, the 40 seconds left here in qualifying, and just having a look at a name here at the moment who hasn't turned a lap. Alex Bergeron. I know he is in the server. I did see that little Canadian's name somewhere in the mix. He's definitely in the server. You got Weston Newell and Richard Stallings who are not in the server, and also Zach Rounds as well. Zach Rounds had a fairly decent run over the past couple of weeks as well. He's definitely in server. So realistically, there's 2 guys that haven't turned a lap time, and it's gonna be tough for those guys because without turning a qualifying lap, it's an automatic rear of the field start in your heat race, and, you know, trying to come through the heat races in, you know, in a late model around a new track that's, you know, I think can be fairly top dominant early on, especially with the cushion the way it is. It's certainly going to be hard for those guys.
Well, as you say that right, Brent, guess what? We're heading off into heat racing. Excuse me. I got choked up right there already. I'm getting excited already. Wow. We're heading off on heat race number 1 here tonight live from the dirt track here in Charlotte. And, you know, like I say, so we got 9 guys out here going to grid it up. You want to take us to the grid in order?
Yeah, no worries. Starting on pole in the 313, it's going to be Greg Thompson. Out of position number 2, it's going to be the 9 of Jason George. Out of position number 3, the 666 of Lewis Hewitt. And out of position number 4, tonight's quick time, the 80 of Dylan Wilson. Out of position 5, David Harleman will start on the inside of row number 3. Alongside him in the 324, it's going to be Lane Walker out of position number 6. Out of position 7, the 33 of Tommy Champagne lines up alongside the 11 of Dustin Sizemore out of position number 8. And Weston Newell not in the service, so he will not start this one. So it will be a 8-car field fleet race number 1, 10 laps on the board, and the top 3 will transfer into tonight's main event.
Yeah, absolutely. And these guys, man, are getting geared up here, getting set. Have to get ready, man, to race it out here tonight. Heat race 1, folks, man. Hey, get ready. It's guess we're still waiting on a couple guys to grid up here. There we go. Pace truck's moving off now.
Pace truck rolls off the front straight away, and these cars will go in rows of 2.
Yeah, 2 by 2.
Yep, they get their first look at racing conditions here for VLR here at the dirt track at Charlotte.
Yeah, and I can't wait, man, to start seeing this one, just to see what these guys will do out here, at Charlotte. To kind of interested, man. Yeah, I'm first time here for us. So here we go, folks. Now tomorrow night, big 3-1. You're going to see, I think it's Limeland, I believe it is.
Limeland, yeah, and the modified sets. Man, I tell you what, that track is an absolute blast in a 360 sprint car, let me tell you.
Awesome. Well, let's get through tonight here. We got some awesome racing. We got some heat racing, mains, and then we got a big feature coming out here. As Pace Truck's in, here we go. These guys out here, the 8 machines out here, are going to storm in heat race number 1 as they're getting set. A little bit slower pace here before they go green, a little bit longer around than what we're used to seeing. The green flag's out, and that man up front right there in the 99 machine, I believe it's the 99 machine, or 313 there, excuse me, already contact up front.
Yeah, and that's what I said was going to happen at the opening, at the start. So a couple of cars already getting involved. There's about 3 or 4 cars involved in that opening wreck, and I believe it all came from the 80 of Dylan Wilson, who just tagged the back of the 9, I think it was. But we go up towards the front of the field. Dylan Wilson is your race leader. You go back to Lane Walker in that 324, and David Holloman running on the top side of the racetrack. In fact, jumps the cushion. Now, we can say that because, yes, there is a cushion here at the dirt track at Charlotte.
Yes, there is. A new addition added on here to the actual iRacing thing. And as you could just see that car bouncing around as it goes up there at the top side. That's something these guys are, I don't know if it's new to them or not here, but they're going to have to figure out a way to drive this thing. We're already seeing contact that took out quite a few of the heavy hitters. Tommy Champagne back there, Lewis Hewitt, that's your other friend from down under right there. Greg Thompson was a little bit involved, Jason George, so a lot of those guys involved in it. I think they're going to be a little more spread out here as they are right now.
Yeah, it's going to make it interesting for the feature race, because look at the 21 of David Heilemann. He railed the cushion on the last lap. He pulled in nearly half a second on that last lap over Lane Walker, and he's got that 21, that right rear, just banging up against the cushion. Makes contact with the backstretch wall, and you see, just he jumps the cushion a little bit. He hits the wall, but David Heilemann, he now goes from about half a second into almost a half a second place lead over third place right now. But the gap at the moment, Dylan Wilson in that 80 machine, he's got over a 2-second lead. And you talk about running the cushion perfect. Just all you got to do is watch that number 80 machine. He's inches from that outside wall.
Yes, he is. I mean, and then every once in a while, he's up there tagging that thing, coming around the turn here. I mean, it's just an awesome feat to see. And we got a car, man, upside down. Almost took him out right there up front. But you're right. Our leader, Dylan Wilson, he's got a 1.9 second lead, and he's got a tore-up machine from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, Lewis Stewart there was actually the one that was upside down in turns 3 and 4. Wilson had nowhere to go. I think Hewitt was trying to get that car off the racetrack as quick as he can, but just looking at the lap times between your first and second place car, David Holland at 16.007, whereas Dylan Wilson with a 15.524. That just goes to show you, what's going on with Dylan Wilson? He's just slowing up.
Yeah, he just...
His out, yeah. He's slowing up. David Holloman grabs second, and Lane Walker will grab third. But, yeah, interesting to see that Dylan Wilson just pulled that car up there.
Well, he had quite a bit of damage on the front end of that thing there from what I was seeing. I don't think that was an iRacing glitch or anything, because I think he got in contact earlier on, knocked the nose of it off. So that motor could have started expiring on him, and luckily the race ended, and well, he took heat race number 1, and that puts us in heat race 2. Wow, fast and fierce. And I think what we're seeing already out here is these guys are trying to find the groove here at this track. And also, I just think this track already is presenting itself as being a challenge. As you want to take us through the grid in order here at heat race 2?
Yeah, sure, certainly can. But as I said, it's going to be all fairly top dominant at the moment. The 06 of Albert Perez starts out of position number 1. Out of position 2, the 47 of Lucas Chowning. Out of position 3, it's the 3 of Shane James. Out of position number 4 in the 007 is Jacob Bill. Starting out of position number 5, the 8 of Cole Newhoffen. Who's outside the 04, Chase Cabray. He starts out of position number 6. Mike Molnar in the 56 starts out of position number 7. Ian Blanchard in the 2 will start out of position 8. And Richard Stallings not in this one. It'll be an 8-car field with another 10 on the board and top 3 to transfer. And we've seen last week, Joe, that Molnar didn't qualify all that well, but he ran the bottom very, very consistently and actually got up towards the front. In fact, I picked up a second last week.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and definitely, we're going to see them here as probably some of the heavy hitters, I'm going to say, which, I mean, all these guys are. Some of the best of the best here at the VLR and here at the X.Celerated for the Big 3 Series. Super late models, you can already see the 04. And what's amazing is, you know, you talk about that cushion up there, it will form up. It will actually be like a heel. That's what I'm going to associate it with. You saw the 04. It almost looks like a banking. Watch him as he goes up in there. So it's already forming. You can see the cars as they are coming around here to go for the green flag. And then it's out already as these guys, man, come to life up front. The 06 there of Alex Peck. But they're already 2 wide behind them.
Oh, Newhoffen gets around. He contact with the 04 of Chase Cabray, I think that was. Meanwhile, James and Channing, they're going to fight it out for the racing. How about the 56? Mike Molnar up to position number 3. And once again, running the bottom side of the racetrack, but back up front, your battle is on for the race lead. The 47 is supercrossing down the back straight away into turn 3 and 4. And Shane James has the race lead as we complete lap number 2. Chowning back to the inside. James runs the cushion in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's already coming in on the high line right there. You can just see the bumps upsetting the front end of these cars. A lot of these guys wanting that high line there. Shane James, he's out front barely, though, as Lewis Crowning right there on the inside. He's going to try to slide it. Here comes the 007 of Jacob Fields, though, in the mix. The 56 of Mike Molnar, he's back down the tailgate. So we got a 4-car battle up front.
Almost a 5-car battle to get through. Chase Cabray in there as well. But, yeah, Lucas Chowning in the 47 runs through the middle. James gets around the outside, keeping on the 007 of Fields. He qualified second quick, and he's looking to make a charge into the top 3. He's got Molnar on the inside. He gets around Molnar. Now the 007 of Fields. He works to the outside of Chowning. Molnar gets into the left rear quarter panel now. Lucas Chowning, and he's going to lose a couple of spots, but Chowning back to the inside. Cabray working the cushion in turn 3 and 4, but here comes Fields in the 007 up to position number 2.
Wow, up front, man, a lot of action going on here for the actual second here heat races. We got about 3 laps to go. The man Jacob Fields puts it out front, along with Lewis Crowning right there in second. The battles for third. Mike Molnar, Shane James, they're beating each other out. As you see, like you said, that cushion up there almost forming up like a ramp. And at that bump going into turn 3, that's just amazing that these guys can keep that car under control.
I'll tell you right now, this 04 of Chase Cabray, he's going to enter the top 3 in this heat race. I guarantee it right now. Shane James, he's going to be kicking himself right now because he was leading the race, and now he's back into 4th. Oh, Cabray almost got into the back bumper of the 3 of James. The white flag is out. The battle is on for the final transfer spot. Give the race win to Fields right now. Chowning in second. Here comes Cabray on the back bumper, nose to tail. Cabray into 3 and 4. Oh, Molnar! He turns the 47, and I told you it's Shane James will grab second. I told you Chase Cabray was going to get a transfer spot, and did he get it or what on the last corner? In the last lap, the 56 of Molnar, he got into the back of Lucas Chowning. And wow, what an epic race there.
That was a finish, and I think that's what we're going to see all night long. These guys just are trying to modulate this track here. We're live, like I say, from the dirt track at Charlotte. New track here, new addition to the iRacing field here tonight. So these guys, folks, this is all new to them, all new to myself, all new to Brett and us up here in the booth. So definitely, you know, what y'all are seeing out there, these drivers have not set foot on this track. Well, they might have earlier today, but as of right now, it is definitely just a, it is awesome. And so far, these finishes, hey, it's almost starting to look like a Bristol race. A lot of contact.
Yeah, it's a Bristol motocross track, I reckon. Get the AMA Supercross bikes out here. I tell you, they'll certainly put on a show. But we get set for heat race number 3. The 42 of Virgil Graham will start out of position number 1. The 37 of Randall Carter lines up alongside him. Inside run number 2, the 30 of Robert Schaefer lines up alongside the 07 of Howard Weaver. In position number 5, it's going to be the 4 of Justin Norwood to his outside. In the 19, Garrett Niebrugge out of position number 6. Out of position 7, the 777 of Jacob Leverstein. And in car number 18, starting out of position number 8, it's going to be Austin Carr. And this would have to be the most stacked heat race of the night.
Absolutely it is here. And I tell you what, these guys are about to come to life. Up front, like you say, Randall Carter, Virgil Graham, Howard Weaver, come to Weaver Mobile up there, Robert Schaefer, Garrett Niebergy up there, and Justin Norwood, like you said, just to name a few out here as Pace trucks in. Takes a little bit longer for them to get around here before we go green flag racing here tonight. And they are off the 42. Virgil, he gets a good jump, but behind him, they're going to side by side, heading off into 1.
Yeah, Virgil Graham immediately to the top side of the racetrack right now. Carter sits in 2nd, Schaefer in 3rd. The 4 of Justin Norwood rides in 4th right now, running through the middle, 3 wide. Behind them for positions 5 and 6, Austin Carr, Garrett Niebergy, and Howard Weaver. Contact between Norwood and Schaefer as they went into 1 and 2, but they all keep it going. So a very fast and stacked heat race right now. The 07 of Weaver, he is up top looking to make this 3 wide down the main straightaway.
Yes, he is, and there's still 3 wide contact between the 37 machine of Randall Carter and the 4, I believe, back there also. And that just leaves another one. And the contact 4 machine turns the 37 there of Randall Carter. He is around. These guys, man, are driving the wheels off of these machines here at Charlotte.
Tell you what, if you're a fiberglass and you've got some spare front panels, I'll tell you what, you're going to make some money here tonight on iracing right now, as these guys are certainly using their front bumper. How about Garrett Niebergy in the 19 in 3rd place at the moment, hanging onto a transfer spot. Robert Schaefer in 4th, and you go back to Austin Carr, who rounds out your top 5. You got Norwood, Leverstein, and then Randall Carter. But out in front, always lonesome right now, is the 42 of Virgil Graham, just running that high side of the racetrack, runs the cushion. I think Weaver might be starting to catch 42 here. It was a little bit over 9.5 tenths there on that previous lap. I tell you, this is going to be about 4 tenths right now as they come across the line. It's half a second, so he chopped off 4 tenths on that last lap.
Yes, he did, and he's got enough time to do it if he keeps doing what he's doing, but he is using that high line. Here comes Weaver in the 07. He's going to try to look on the inside. Is he going to put the bumper to him? No, he's going to use the slide jump. He throws that thing into the turn, and look at this crossover, 42. Virgil says, not so fast, Weaver. I'm going to take back to the lead and back to the point.
Yep, Graham threw a slider, but Weaver crosses back underneath him. Weaver will... The 8th lap, we got 2 to run. Weaver with a slide job on Graham. Can Graham get the horsepower back down the back straightaway into 3 and 4? He goes to throw the big slide job on teammate. They're going to run side by side. It's going to be Graham who leads on the last lap. 1 to go. Weaver going to throw it back to the inside. He gets on the brakes because he knew he didn't have enough room to clear the 42. And Graham down the back straightaway for the final time. Heat race number 3 should go to the 42. He taps the wall. Weaver to the inside. Oh my, how do you split that one? Oh, this is close. 1/1000th of a second. Virgil Graham hangs on. Can you believe it, Joe?
Yeah, man, to the line. Very, very side-by-side action right there. Those guys were just back and forth, knocking each other, and they're swapping positions, and that's what we're going to see all night long, folks. You better get your refreshments, because you better buckle it down in the house, too, because they are here at Charlotte live tonight with the VLR super late models. And you know, I don't know, the next 10 weeks or so, it's just going to be action-packed. These guys are just putting on a show week in and week out.
I'm at loss for words, and that was just a heat race.
Yep.
Wow,
Absolutely.
what a finish. Heat race number 4 starting to roll off, and the grid will be there. Stolten Connor in car number 25 will start out of position number 1. The 97 of Mark Molnar lines up out of position number 2. Car number 17, Ken Short, starts out of position number 3. Drew Hirschko in the 26 will start position number 4. DJ Kilinowski in the 15 will start out of position number 5. The 24 of Ryan Munn starts out of position number 6. And how about this for a back row? Both feature race winners here at Team VLR in the 6. It's going to be Brayton Wallace will line up alongside the 12 of Alex Bergeron. And wow, this is another big heat race. Keep an eye on the 6 and 12 starting on the last row of this heat. This is going to be good.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, it's just exciting and exhilarating to watch. We got 10 laps here, another heat race. Should be the final one, I believe, of tonight here.
One more after,
I've got one more after. Okay, good deal. One more after this one, and then we go to our mains here tonight. But I want to hang on to it out there, folks. More like just Brett said. Green flags out of 25 of Dalton Connor out front. Mark Moyler right there behind him as they're going to try to, they'll figure this track out before it's over with. As Ken Short, he's in the wall a little bit. The 26 of Drew Hertzko, he's getting turned around and he's in the back now.
Alex Bergeron made his intentions very clear, went to the top, went straight to the cushion in turns 1 and 2. Brayton Wallace, meanwhile, trying to put it on the bottom of the low side of the racetrack. How do you think about what I was going to say then? As we're going to have Brayton Wallace on the inside of Kilinowski to take over that 4th spot, but here comes Kilinowski back to the outside, and a great battle going on just in front of them for the transfer. Mark Molnar and Ken Short, they're having a great battle now, but don't look now because here comes the 12 of Alex Bergeron.
Absolutely, Alex Bergeron trying to move it, and he's bringing that high line. He learned something from the last one. Look at the run. He got off the turn. He shot like a bullet out of the turn right there with that VLR machine, and he is on the high side trying to take the 3rd place spot. There's 4 machines right there that are all in a group. They're all 3 wide coming out of the turn.
How about Bergeron? The little Canadian, he is put it to the top side. He doesn't need qualifying ties. He is just going to rail the top. Now he's got Dalton Connor set on his side. The 25 Connor rides the low side. Bergeron to the outside from last to first. How can this? He can wheel a race car, let me tell you that. Now, Brayton Wallace, he's going to be next on the list. Oh, he gets a little loose coming up the turn number 2. Battle on for the 3rd and final transfer spot. Connor and Molnar side by side. We've got 4 laps left to run, and Alex Bergeron, he is putting on a clinic.
Yes, he is. Alex Bergeron, one of the World of Outlaw iRacing champions here, so he is one of the best here at iRacing on the dirt tracks. Now, man, like you said, he definitely can wheel one of these things, and he is doing it out here, running that high line and definitely kicking up some dust doing it. But the battles for second, the 97, Mark Moyer, they made contact. The 25 of Dalton Connor, he went into the side of him, but they're still side by side coming to the line.
Not a great battle for 2nd and 3rd right now. They've got a main spot lined up if they just can't keep it off each other in these final lap and a bit right now. Mark Molnar, that is in the 97, rides in 2nd. Dalton Connor, who was your pole sitter, he led probably 5 or 6 laps of this one before he got passed by the 25 and the 97. As now he's just got half a lap to go into turn number 3 and 4. Bergeron will take the win. 2nd will go to the 97 of Mark Molnar, and Dalton Connor hangs on for 3rd. Those 3 drivers will take a direct transfer into tonight's main event. And now their nights are made just a little bit easier.
Yes, it is. And wow, like you said, we're just in the heats, Brett. Folks, I'm going to tell you, we haven't even got into the mains here, but this is the last heat of the night, last chance for these guys to make an impression. Some of them anyways, not all, but these guys will get into the main races. Hopefully some of them are hoping to get to that feature here tonight. First time here at the dirt track here of Charlotte. Brett, take us through this awesome lineup.
Hey, you talk about not taking a break with these heat races. How good, back to back to back to back, just keep rolling it out. That's what I love, and I've almost gone through a whole can of drink already. We've only gone through 4 heat races. We're still going to go through a potential D main, a C main, and a B main as well before we even get to the main event. So Jordan Wesley in the 55 will start on pole to his outside, the 78 of Chris Arencia. And a position 3, the 38 of Josh Phillips lines up alongside the 115 of John Fiddler. Dylan Fox in the 99 starts out of position 5. The 20 of Brandon Schmidt starts out of position number 6. The 22 of Drew Phillips starts out of position number 7. And the 28 of Zach Rounds starts out of position number 8. And our final heat of the night with another 3 going to the main event.
Absolutely, like you just said, 8 machines out here going to try to see what they can do to go into that last spot tonight. What's up, George Cahill? And all the folks over on the Facebook side. We're on the YouTube side also tonight. Giving it to you here live on the X.Celerated Facebook page. It's Pace truck is in. I have to get used to that Pace truck part, used to Pace car. But Pace truck's in. About to go green flag racing for the final heat here tonight before we get into our mains here. But that 55 of Jordan Wesley out front, Chris Arencia up there. He wastes no time hammering through the gears. They're already beating and banging in the back behind him.
Yeah, good start there by Josh Phillips in that 38 machine up to second. But here comes John Fiddler to the inside of Phillips into turn number 3 and 4. Arencia 3 wide along with Brandon Schmidt as well. So 3 wide for the final spot. And it is heating up already after just lap number 1. The track is starting to get very slick on entry into both corners. Phillips back past Arencia, as does Schmidt. Now Phillips back to the inside of Fiddler. Can he take over second? But Fiddler's got that right rear hooked up on the cushion. Got the 38 of Phillips. He's making that low side work in the turn number 1 and 2.
Man, these guys are making it work, man. High and low. Contact between the leader and the second one there, the 115 of John Fiddler. Didn't upset him any, though, but Jordan Wesley went up there and pushed him up against the wall as John takes it to the front. Jordan Wesley, he's going to fall back to second, but here comes Josh Phillips on the inside and see if he can't maybe slide. They made contact. That's going to put him around Jordan Wesley.
Oh, Wesley, it all started so well, and now it's going to end horribly so far in the heat race. He'll still have a D and a C main to potentially come through. Fiddler works the cushion, as does Josh Phillips in that 38 into turn number 3 and 4. In fact, Phillips goes through the middle looking for some moisture. Oh, battle on for third as Arencia. He got past Brandon Schmidt. That's for your transfer spot. Schmidt jumped the cushion and hit the wall into turn number 3 and 4. We're halfway home, make that 4 laps to go. That's Fiddler, race leader, rides the cushion out of turn 4.
Yes, he does. John Fiddler up front, Josh Phillips there in second. Chris Arencia, he's under pressure, though, by Brandon Smith right there. Brandon puts a bumper to him. We've seen it all night long. Guys, man, just going up in there. Hey, we call that the bump and run, Brett, on the oval side of things. And these guys on the dirt side tonight, well, they are definitely using the front side bumpers on these machines, the super late models here.
Yeah, Zach Rounds just got past Drew Phillips there for 4, so Rounds was one of the other drivers that didn't actually turn a lap time in qualifying, and he may have a chance at getting a transfer spot, but he's only got 2 laps to go. He's got a fair way to catch up to Brandon Schmidt. Brandon Schmidt just not making a mistake, but I tell you what, if this was at the real dirt track in Charlotte, I dare say tempers would be flaring big time right now. 1 lap to go for your race leader, John Fiddler. He's got a big margin over Josh Phillips sitting back there in second. I tell you what, Phillips, it's nice to see him lay down not a bad qualifying effort and actually transfer directly into the main event. John Fiddler will take the win. Second will be Josh Phillips. Third is going to go to Drew Phillips. Not sure what happened to Brandon Schmidt there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him on there. He got the win down the lap right there on the inside, but I'm going to tell you what, you alluded to it a minute ago, Brett. You said that there'd be a lot of tempers flaring. You're right. It's almost like a Saturday night short track affair out here. One of the tracks that I know a lot of people out there are familiar with, I know you might be familiar with it, Brett, or not. It's called Bowman Gray Stadium. It's up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You might as well just say that that's a bull ring with a fight with cars, because that's what those guys do. And here, if this was not the virtual world, I think we'd have a few infield care center mix-ups happening here after this race.
We might have to hire security guard to the pits, security guard to the virtual pits, please. Yep. But wow, okay, so no D main, but what we are going to have, we're going to have an 8-lap C main. We're going to have about 12 cars in this one, maybe 13, just depending on Richard Stallings and Western New are not here. So we're going to have a 12-car C main, 8 laps, so it's 2 laps less than a heat race. This time, the top 4 will transfer. How about this for a front row? Brayton Wallace lines up alongside Brandon Schmidt. Lewis Stewart and Lucas Chowning starts out of position 3 and 4. Randall Carter starts out of position 5 alongside him, the 26 of Drew Hirschko. Zach Rounds and Greg Thompson make up row number 4. Cole Newhoffen and Austin Carr are row 5. Ryan Martin and Jordan Wesley should be your 11th and 12th car in this one, as Newell and Stallings are a DNS in tonight's main event. And you just got to look at some of the names. You know, you throw out the likes of Wallace, Hewitt, Chowning, Carter, Hirschko, Rounds, Newhoffen, Carr, Martin, Wesley. I mean, that's nearly the whole field. You know what? I'm just going to throw the whole field out there to be in a C main. These guys have got a lot of work to do. Absolutely,
and they got 666. Boy, the devil's out there right now. The pace truck's about to go in, and we're about to go racing here for the first main tonight. This is actually will be like you said, a C main here. Then we got a B main, and then we go to our feature, folks. And here we go, Pace Trucks in here, Charlotte. This is the first time these guys have stepped foot on this track here. New build, new track here. As we're about to get set to go green flag, racing the 6 machine there, Brayton Wallace. He's holding the field up. Green flag here flies. And these boys are about to get dirty out here in the dirt, and they already are 2x2 in the back.
Yeah, nearly 3 wide as we go 3 wide for third at the moment. Carter is sitting in 5th. And how about Drew Hirsch going to 26? Just counting. Nearly goes upside down. And here comes Brandon Schmidt on the outside. Battle on for the race lead. That's the battle of the 6s right now. Brayden Wallace and Lewis Stewart side by side. Throw in the 26, 3 wide. This is for the race lead. This is a C main.
No doubt about it, a C main here, not even the feature. They're beating and banging almost 4 wide again here. But they're 3 wide back for the second place spot as the 666 machine there. Lewis Hewitt, the man from down under, contact up top with a 6. He is almost 90 degrees turned when he's going through those turns, Brett.
Thompson and Hewitt are side by side. That's your battle for. Oh, Schmidt rides the high side. Hewitt hits the cushion. That car gets a little bit unsettled right now. Wow, these cars are really bumpy as we got Brandon Schmidt upside down, 3 wide. Then Newhoffman on the inside of Brayden Wallace on the outside of Zach Rounds. They just throwing, banging it off each other into turns number 1 and 2. And wow, this is a C main. There is absolute carnage all over the racetrack.
No doubt. Look at that contact behind them back there. Cole in the number 8 machine. He was out there, Joey Chitwood, showing that thing on 2 wheels up there. I've said it before. They got these bumps, and then it's knocking these cars around, the super late models, and they are definitely knocking each other around. It's almost like a fight night out here on the dirt, and we're loving every minute of it. And you're right, we're only in the first main of the night here.
It's the UFC, the Speedway version of the UFC here at the dirt track. Rounds jumps the cushion in 3 and 4. He tries to get. The final lap is upon us. The 28 of Rounds. He's riding the cushion. He's going to pass Austin Carr into turn number 3 and 4. Carr runs the low side. He looks like he might be able to hang on. That cushion is fast, but it's not that fast. The checkers around. And we have our 4 cars, Drew Hirschko, Randall Carter, Greg Thompson, and Austin Carr, your 4 guys. That will continue on. The rest of the drivers, they're going to have to do what we're doing, but this time they're going to be watching from the grandstands.
Absolutely, and I tell you, you're right, IU. They can take a beating and keep on ticking. Yeah, that's the Timex side there, but these super late models definitely can take a pounding out here on the dirt here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, we got a huge field here for our last main here tonight, our B main here, before we set the field for an awesome, and I mean awesome, feature here tonight. I'm already pumped up and excited, and I know Brett over there is going to have some awesome blood pressure medicine before this one's over.
Yeah, I think I'm going to need a sponsor for a drink and a sponsor for a blood pressure machine, because the way these guys are going over the past couple of weeks, I'll tell you what, I'm going to need it. But we'll go through the grid for your B main. 17 cars on track. The 9 of Jason George starts out of position number 1. Alongside him, the 56 of Mike Molnar. The 30 of Robert Schaefer starts position number 3. DJ Kilinowski starts out of position number 4. The 99 Dylan Fox starts out of position 5. And the 11 of Dustin Sizemore starts out of position number 6. At a position 7, it's the 06 of Albert Perez. Alongside him is the 4 of Justin Norwood starting out of position number 8. Ken Short in the 17 lines up out of position number 9. And alongside him, the 78 of Chris Arencia. Out of position number 11, it's going to be the 33 of Tommy Champagne. Alongside him, the 2 of Ian Blanchard starts out of position 12. The 777 of Jacob Leverstein starts out of position number 13. And our C-main winner, the 26, Drew Hirschko, starts position 14. Randall Carter, Greg Thompson in row 8, and row 9 at the back is Austin Carr, 17 cars. Excuse me, it's going to be a 10-lap dash. So it's basically a heat race distance, but this time we take our top 9 to the main event.
Absolutely, and it's a who's who of names out here at the dirt track here at Charlotte. And I tell you, just by watching this, I might have to one day take a trip down to Charlotte to the dirt track. Never been, but just watching this exciting racing out here, man, it gets your blood pumping. As the man up front, Jason George, Mike Molnar, They go green flag in the air. Mike wastes no time. Jason wastes no time. They are 2x2 in the backside with a 30 machine there also, and they are definitely using that low line. They still make contact.
Yeah, a lot of side-by-side racing. In fact, 3 wide right now around your transfer spot. You got the 2 right now of Ian Blanchard. He's on the inside of that 11 machine of Dustin Sizemore. You talk about wanting to take a trip down to the dirt track at Charlotte. I'll tell you what, if you've got to spare a couple of G's, I'm happy to fly over from Australia. Oh, we got Sizemore around, but Leverstein, he's going to straighten him back up, and Justin Norman in the 4, he's going to go around, and he's going to be at the back, so his night is pretty much done.
Man, back here to 5th, 6th, 7th spot, the 06 machine there, an Albert Perez, contact up there for the 99 machine, and so they're riding a wall. That's Fox up there. He went up on side of the wall, but I was saying the machine of the 06, he went from like 7th spot and shot all the way up to 4th over that affair.
Yeah, Tommy Champagne rides in 8th. In fact, he rode the cushion in turn number 1 and 2. Blanchard, he's going to go up to the top side of the racetrack. Meanwhile, your 9th spot, this is your battle for the transfer right now. You got the 99 Fox in the pink, white, and black machine. On the inside, in the blue and white, is Jacob Leverstein. Leverstein now up to position number 9. That puts Dylan Fox outside of a transfer. Keep an eye on Austin Carr in that 18. Oh, we got a car around. It is Tommy Champagne, and that's going to put Leverstein and Dylan Fox into a transfer spot. And Austin Carr in that 18. 1 spot out of a transfer. 3 wide in a turn number 3 and 4. Carr on the low side.
Man, he just went up there and got the boot, Tommy Champagne did, and went up into the wall, and that put the 99 of Fox up here in the 7th place car right behind him in the 8th. These guys just are taking no prisoners here tonight at Charlotte, and they are riding a low line, a high line, and they are using that banking of a cushion up there to their advantage here, but they're also using that front bumper. I mean, it's amazing that they still got those things on after the race.
Unbelievable. How about Austin Carr up to position number 8 right now? He started in that 17th starting spot. I think he finished 4th in the C main, and he's now looking at a transfer in the starting spot in tonight's main event. He's got a couple more laps just to hang on. In fact, 1 lap as they come out of turn number 4. The battle is on right now. Levis side puts Austin Carr back to position number 9. Ian Blanchard, he's 1 spot out right now. Out of turn number 2, the battle is on for the final transfer spot. Blanchard through the middle. Oh, Dylan Fox makes a mistake. He had 2 corners to go, and he absolutely steps on it. And
wow.
These are our guys: Mike Molnar, Jason George, Robert Schaefer, Albert Perez, Chris Arencia, Ken Short, Jacob Leverstein, Austin Carr, and Ian Blanchard will be the 9th and final car. And Dylan Fox in the 99. He had 1 turn left to complete to get an A-main spot, and he mucks it up, and that is his night done and dusted.
And you're right. Couldn't have said it better there. He had 1 turn to go, and he was in a transfer, messed it up like you said, hit the bottom, and boom. Well, folks, hang on to it. We're going to be right back here. We're going to change up servers because guess what? It is featured time here, and we're going to bring a bunch of racing here tonight. So, guys, hang on to it here. We'll be right back after this, and me and Brett, I'm going to let Brett go get him something to drink because I know he's probably like dying over there as we get this server, man, changed over. Don't go anywhere. If you go anywhere, go and get some refreshments or go get something. We'll be right back, folks.
Race fans, it is almost time for the most exciting series on the iRacing platform, the X.Celerated VLR Super Late Model Series. Tonight, for the very first time ever, the VLR Super Late Model Series will hit the dirt track at Charlotte for a 50-lap feature event. 2 weeks down, two different winners so far, as last week saw John Fiedler take home the win at the Eldora Speedway. Week 1 saw Greg Thompson take home his first career win at the Volusia Speedway Park. Who will be the next driver to put their name in the prestigious victory lane right here at Team VLR? Dylan Wilson is your current points leader by just over 3 points over Justin Norwood. Wilson is the only driver to finish in the top 5 in both races that he's attended. Jacob Leverstein sits third in the standings with an average finish of 5.5 and one top 5 to his credit so far this season. David Heilman sits fourth in the standings with one top 5 and an average finish of 7.5. While last week's winner, John Fiedler, rounds out your top 5 in points, trailing Dylan Wilson by 13 points so far on the young season. Stick around as Joe White and the gang from the OSR Racing Network bring you all the action live on the X.Celerated Facebook page and TeamVLR.com.
Alright folks, we're back here live from the dirt track in Charlotte. There's a handful there to say on that one, but boy, it has been a thrilling, action-packed, new style, and hey, we went from daytime to nighttime here. We're under the lights now. We'll see what these guys can do, as this is the feature here tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in here for the VLR. Presented by X.Celerated Super Late Model Series here. Some of the Big 3 series. And when I say Big 3, that means they got the sprint cars, super late models, and the UMPs. And you can catch that Sunday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. You can catch the other two there. I believe they're on the, if I'm not mistaken, it's on Dirt TV, I believe it is, on the Facebook.
Dirt Collective.
Dirt Collective.
And yeah, I believe I also X.Celerated it.
Okay.
Actually, I'm pretty sure they're both on X.Celerated, actually.
Okay.
One's... Yeah. I know one of them's on X.Celerated, and I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I'm just here to commentate.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I try to keep up. I know we're here live on X.Celerated tonight. We're also bringing it to you on YouTube here, just kind of giving a few choices to people. But I know we got a slew of hosts of people on the Facebook side, on the X.Celerated Facebook there tonight, and they're presenting this thing here along with Team VLR. I want to appreciate everybody here watching us. We're Online Sim Racing Network. You're home for fun and exciting sim racing here live tonight, and it has been fun and exciting for myself and Brett, as these guys on this new track here from the Charlotte Dirt Track have beat and banged each other here to the main feature tonight. And we're already seeing cars just tumbling over, but what we're going to see in this feature, wow, I don't even know if I have words.
Well, I hope one of us has words, because otherwise it's going to be pretty pretty boring. With no commentary. But I tell you what, there'll be no shortage of action on track, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, these guys have definitely put a lot of, see the comment out there, these guys have got some skill. You're right. Folks, if you just don't realize, if you're new tuning in here, if it's the first time watching this stuff here for iRacing, iRacing is a simulator, and I always say it's the realest thing you're going to get without stepping foot into one of an actual race car, whether it be the oval side, road side, or dirt side of anything, or the rallycross for that matter. It is just, unless you just got the millions and thousands of dollars to do it, this right here is about the realest thing you can get. And it definitely, skill-wise, some of these guys actually drive dirt track racing for a living, and some of them actually are real drivers, but some of them out here are the best of the best on iRacing. When I say that, I mean, Alex Bergeron just comes to mind, who is one of the World of Outlaw champions here on iRacing. So that just goes to show you the talent and skill we have out here.
Well, I can confirm that he's the World of Outlaws Craft Sprint Car Series champion, as well as Howard Weaver, who is the World of Outlaws Super Late Model champion as well. So, you got two guys that are, World of Outlaw champions on iRacing. That's just a tough feat in itself to do. But you got to look at the likes of Austin Carr. He's had a run from the C main. You look at Jacob Fields, Dylan Wilson. I mean, you go back to qualifying. 2/10 quicker than anybody else on the racetrack. He railed that highest. Shane James, a feature winner here, with Dylan Wilson, David Heilemann, Jacob Leverstein, Virgil Graham as well, Garrett Niebrugge. I mean, it really is, the best of the best at the moment, and we're even seeing some of the best drivers not make it into tonight's feature.
Absolutely. Some of them, not everybody made it out here. You're right, as we get set here to go to our race here, run down. Won't be any qualifying, because pretty much it is a set, stacked field here, as our server now is going to the next one. Well, Brett, I'm going to let you go ahead and get our grid in order, because we got some maniacs out here.
Well, yeah, they're called Hylomaniacs as well, but the 80 of Dylan Wilson, position number 1. At a position number 2, it's going to be the 007 of Jacob Fields. The 07 of Howard Weaver lines up at a position number 3 to his outside, 42 of Virgil Graham. At a position number 5, the 6 of Alex Bergeron lines up alongside the 115 of John Fiddler. Inside row number 4, Hylomaniacs David Heilemann starts position 7. To his outside, the 3 of Shane James starts at a position number 8. Row number 5 on the inside, it's going to be the 12 of Josh Phillips. To his outside, I believe it's the birthday boy, the 324 of Lane Walker. At a position number 11, it's the 04 of Chase Cabaret. To his outside, the 19 of Garrett Niebrugge. At a position 13, the 11 of Dalton Connor lines up alongside the 22 of Drew Phillips. The 56, Mike Molnar, starts position number 15, and at a position 16, it's the 9 of Jason George. At a position 17, the 30 of Robert Schaefer lines up alongside the 06 of Albert Perez. At a position 19, the 78 of Chris Orencia to his outside, the 28 of Ken Shaw. Inside row number 11, out of position number 21, it's the 777 of Jacob Leverstein to his outside. The guy that's had a hard charging race so far, coming from the C main. In car number 18, out of position 22, it's Austin Carr. And riding shotgun in tonight's 23 car field, it's the 2 of Ian Blanchard.
And that's going to round out the field here to start this thing off, folks. It's going to be wild, fast, action-paced here tonight. I believe, we got 50 laps here?
50 laps is correct.
All right, good deal. Well, the reason I say that is because it won't show up, I don't think, up there. The way they have it set up, I don't think they count the caution laps here, do they?
Negative. That is a big negatory.
Absolutely. Well, here we go. Buckle it down. Kool-Aid Man up front in the 80 there. Dylan Wilson. Green flag flies, and he gets hammered out as these boys are going to sort it out as they take off here and they storm off their already yellow flag.
Yeah, just trying to have a look to see what could be the caution here. I think it might have been John Fiddler on the 115. One of those cars that was sort of getting upside down. Well, not upside down, but getting turned around. He just got... where David Heilemann sort of got into the back of it.
Yeah, 21 got into it, but we've seen that all night long. He didn't go up in the air. It looked like too much damage on that 115 there, John Fiddler. Now, folks, you got to realize this is the first time these guys, well, not the first time, but it's pretty much the first time here tonight that they've run the track, especially with this amount of cars on it. 23 on some bad, fast boys out here. And, Brett, I always say we got some bad, fast drivers and some bad, fast cars about to do some bad, fast things on a dirt track tonight.
And you might as well do it on a badass cushion as well. It's it is treacherous up there, let me tell you.
Yep.
So just waiting on a couple of guys. Looks like a couple of guys are actually being told to line up behind the pace car, but they will get their spot back at the back of the field. So you might see a little bit of a jumbled up order as we see the caution come out by the time we get into turn number 1 and 2 for some of these drivers.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to be, moderators up our field for them. Yeah, they're going to call the green off to get the grid in order off, and just something like that. Normally, it's we'll jumble it up a little bit because they hadn't really crossed the start-finish line. Not everybody did before the yellow came out. Kind of an unusual set of circumstances.
Yeah, it is, and it gives a lot of the drivers a black flag, but because they've actually done nothing wrong, there's a reason why we have admins in here that to go back and make sure that nothing they haven't done the wrong thing. So they're able to go and clear the black flags, and they'll be able to take up their spot at the back of the pack as well. So we'll also keep an eye on tonight's hard charger as well, as we can't really go through anyone right now. But I tell you what, I'm going to keep my eye on the Cubano, the 18 of Austin Carr.
All right, yep, we'll definitely keep an eye on that. And, like I say, we're just waiting to get the field sorted back out. Like Selke was saying, good that the admins up there, they do their job. Me and Brett up here, we call the action out here. And Scoot up there, I could ride a bicycle, and he could ride a bicycle and beat. Oh, okay, well, come on out here, Scoot. You can ride a bicycle and beat these guys. Hey, sign up to iracing. Check them out on teamvlr.com. And I tell you what, if you think you can ride a bike better, hey, have at it.
If you can get a bike on iracing, you're doing pretty well.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If you show that up, let me know about it. I want to see that when they start having BMX courses out here. That's when it's going to be something else. So here we go. Looks like they're going to get these things sorted up. And there's a few more cars that are going to wave around, I believe, here. Get this field sorted out. Yep. So here we go. Brett, I mean, again, I said I got no words earlier on. From what we've seen tonight, the racing we've seen has just been phenomenal.
Yeah, well, you just got to look at I think it was the third heat race of the night between Weaver and Graham. I mean, 1/1000th of a second. Yeah, Graham messed up in turns 3 and 4. He sort of, kind of was into the wall there, before Howard sort of made a last-ditch effort to get him. But, we've seen, good battles, even in the transfer spots, out of a transfer spot, for the race lead as well. I mean, it even goes through the C and the B main as well. So, I mean, now that we've got, the 23 of the best that iRacing has to offer here for round number 3, one of the big 3 series here for the super late models. I mean, with 50 laps on the board, we really haven't completed any laps, and I expect some slide jobs to get to come. The track at the moment, just looking at it, it's looked like it had a bit of a work, especially going on the entry into the corners. It doesn't look all that slick compared to the heat races.
Yeah, one of the guys out there made a comment out there talking about maybe it needs to be watered down. I remember back in the day when I was a lot younger, we used to, I did some go-kart racing, and we did it on dirt, and they watered the track to make those things, slick and hook up. And then as the race went on, obviously it got drier, and obviously changed the track at that point.
Just trying to listen into race control as well. So we're still going to send these cars around a couple more times. Just trying to see if we can listen in and see what is going on, making sure that nobody is laps down or not black flags. So, but I think at the moment all the cars are looking like that they're ready to get going again. They've lined up in rows of 2 again. Yeah,
absolutely. And folks, like I say, just what we're doing right here is caution came out right as soon as they took the green flag, and iRacing, obviously being simulator and whatnot, is trying to do the automatic scoring. A lot of the guys got caught in a black flag situation because they were, probably they passed a lot before the green, under yellow and whatnot like that. So here we go. We're back green flag. They let them fly on us there. And Dylan Wilson takes off with Jacob Fields right there behind him. Howard Weaver, though, he's on the outside, the number 6. And Howard, he gets spun down the inside and drops a few spots.
Yeah, Heinemann looking to the outside on that 07 machine. We'll keep an eye on the 6 as well. Alex Bergeron didn't lay down a qualifying time, and he come from 8th to win his heat race in just 6 laps. So we'll see what the 6 can do. This time he's got 50 laps on the board, but at the moment it's the 80 machine of Dylan Wilson out in front and doing what he's done all night. He's ride that cushion near to perfection. Jacob Fields in 2nd. We go back through the field right now. Shane James and Virgil Graham battling it out for 6th and 7th at the moment. Then you got the 04 of Cabray and the 18 as well.
The 18 right there, middle of the contact car did as he went inside of the 42 of Virgil. They're 3 wide. The 04 says, I'm going to take the high side. Y'all fellas settle out what y'all got going on. But that 4 machine there of Chase, I'll just say Chase there, he goes blowing by those guys on the high side and uses the cushion to his advantage and made it look pretty doing it.
Yeah, Austin Carr in that 18 behind him as well. He's up to position number 8 it is at the moment, battling with 8th and 9th with the heat race winner Virgil Graham. Cabray behind Shane James, your top 3, top 4. And nose to tail all running the top side of the racetrack right now. Austin Carr, the only driver inside of the top 10 to actually run the low side. And he's picked off quite a few cars doing it right now. He started in position number 22 and he's inside of a top 10. And now here comes an eye of Jason George to the outside of Austin Carr in turn number 3 and 4. George runs the cushion, and there is not a lot of cars running the low side of the racetrack.
No, not all night long. We've seen that high line come into play, but the number 18, Austin Carr, still trying to see if he can't get it going. Look at the 9 of Jason George, though. He's closing in on the tailgate of the 42 of Virgil and going to try to take that spot. We go up here to Shane James, the 04 machine there of Chase. Oh, Shane James up into the wall. Yellow flags out.
Tell you what, I just seen too for the race lead, Jacob Fields and Dylan Wilson came together out of turn number 4, and Fields caught the left front of Dylan Wilson, and the 007 hit the wall. He'd done a full 360, but he's definitely got some damage to the front end of that 007, and what that's actually done, it's got Alex Bergeron in position number 3, but how about this, the 21, David Heinemann just sitting back there in 2nd place right now. We've just completed 7 laps, so we've still got 43 laps left to run.
Yes, we do. I'm trying to find where that caution came out. Didn't actually see. Must have been a car that just got spun around and got spun back straight real quick. And that happens really fast here on the short tracks a lot of times. We're not able to get back on it, but we'll chalk it up to somebody throwing a beer can on the track.
It was, and I think I would be correct in saying this, the 22 of Drew Phillips just caught the infield tyre there, and he spun up in front of the race leaders, and that's what should have brought the caution out. So,
okay.
22 of, Drew Phillips just hits the infield tyres.
And, you know, we saw that in practice. I saw, I think it was Jordan was out there. Earlier on, he actually flipped to one of these cars by hitting that inside tire. Nobody's went down that low so far except for that man Carr all night long in the 18. He's tried to flirt with that low line, but everybody stayed up high. And they stayed up there, man, near that cushion as we're getting set to go back. Green flag racing here again. Hang on to it, batten down the hatches. We're about to go. Dylan Wilson up front. He's going to run that high side here and see if we can't get it done. Green flag flies. He's back out running again. David Heileman, though, the Heilemaniacs, they're going wild because he's flexing his muscles. He does a slide job, crossover by the 80 machine. Here comes Howard, though, and Jacob Fields up front.
Yellow flag is out.
Yeah, yellow is out. It's just having a look here to see if we can't find who was at fault here as the drivers check up. So check up 5 wide if you don't mind. It was fairly hectic as maybe the 06
I believe it
of
was.
Albert Perez.
What I'm going to go ahead and tell you, though, but if we went back and watched that, if I wasn't mistaken, the double 07, as we watch the replay here, yeah, the 115, John Fiedler and the 06, Albert Perez got together back in the back there, and that brought the caution out. But in the meantime, what was happening up front, the double 07 of Jacob Fields, he went up there and got all kind of out of sideways, jumbled the field up, and could have just been a huge wreck. It could have been a lot worse than what it was up front. Yeah,
well, the way I seen it, Fields got into the left rear quarter panel of the Addy of Dylan Wilson. They had both drivers sort of had to check up. Wilson actually checked up to not run into the back of Heileman, then Fields had to check up, and then Weaver, I think, just caught the tail of the 007. Thankfully, that didn't put the 007 around. And just getting word from race control that this is the last time that these guys are going to be put to double file. So if they can't get their act together, it's going to go to single file. And look, no surprise, David Heileman, he opting to go to the high side of the racetrack.
Yes, he is. David Heileman up there, up high in the 21. Dylan Wilson down low to 07, Howard Weaver, and Alex Bergeron. Shane James around the top 5. Here we go. Green flag flies. David wastes no time putting it through the gears. They're 4 wide in the back there, Brett.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit right now. 3 wide. Look at James working to the outside on Jacob Fields. Fields now going to go to the low side along with Cabray and Carr. 3 wide again. David Heileman, your race leader from Dylan Wilson. Howard Weaver in 3rd. Alex Bergeron 4. Shane James, your top 5. You go back to Jason George. Jacob Fields chewed up and spat out at the back right now. He's back there in 7th. Cabray in the 04. And here comes Austin Carr. They're 3 wide again. Fields, George, and James.
Yes, they are 3 wide out of the turn. Almost 4 wide there. These guys are definitely doing it. The 18 shot in there like a bullet. Contact with the 07 of Jacob Fields there, my bad. But they are 3 wide with Austin Carr in the middle and the 42 of Virgil Graham. But Brett, they're just racing like maniacs all over this track.
They certainly are. There is anywhere they can put their race car, they're going to try and put it now on Nibrigi into the wall. He's going to lose a half spot right now. Leverstein to the outside of Austin Carr and Virgil Graham. Oh, Leverstein gets the back of Graham. But that unsettles the 42. We stay clean and green for the moment down the back straightaway. Look at this battle. Holy cow, we are on for a treat right now.
Man, Brett, I tell you what, it's a remake of last week already. These guys are putting a show upon shows here at the dirt track of Charlotte tonight. And most of us happening in the back. David Heileman still leading it by 2.6 seconds as we're under caution. Didn't get to see where that is. I got so much action, man, I didn't even realize it.
56 of Mike Molnar. Drew Phillips was not sure whether he caught the back end of that deal, but the 56 and the 22 were around at the back just as that caution came out. So
We'll watch a replay here for the viewers, man. I'm going to tell you what, they were 4 and 5 wide in that wreck there. The two got in the back, 56 there. Talk Mike Muller, he got turned around and up on his lid almost. Chaotic is the word to use here, Brett. Wow.
Are they purposely trying to give me a heart attack because they put out it the right way?
I don't know.
Look, it's real simple for these drivers. I'm just here to put on a show, but if they don't want to, just tell me. There's no need to go 5 wide.
Man, and I'm with you there too. Boy, I might have to up my medication, go to the doctor tomorrow myself, or pinch myself, man, because the excitement that they're putting on here is just accelerated. And that's where we're at. Accelerated tonight. Facebook here, bringing this thing live with the VLR as they're going to go single file. Folks, hey, if you don't like this kind of racing, you don't like this kind of action, I don't know what to do. Maybe like ice skating.
But yeah, if you don't like this kind of racing, you ain't got a pulse, that's for sure. We're back to green. The Harlemaniacs, David Harleman leading the field. Howard Weaver in second, and Shane James in position number 3. Alex Bergeron fourth. And you back to Jason George in that number 9 machine. Started at a 16th up to position 5. As we now got James and Weaver side by side. We went to throw the big slider on, but he checked up, and Bergeron looks to the outside of Shane James. There was contact off turn number 4. Bergeron rides the cushion, as does Jason George, and Shane James from 3rd back to 5th as he looks to try and get to the top side and trying to get back to that cushion right now.
Yes, they are. All about 5, 6, 7 of these machines up front are all single file, kind of spread out a little bit. David Heileman's your leader. Howard Weaver's trying to run him down. Alex Bergeron, well, that is a handful of talent right there in the top 3, 4, 5 here tonight here at the dirt track of Charlotte. As you see the 3 of Shane James, he's trying to beat the back end of the 9 of Jason George there as they come out of turn. The 4's in the wall. That's Chase Capri right there.
Wow, to have at the top 3 right now, they have just got that right rib pinned to the cushion. In turns 1 and 2, the battle on for second. Bergeron good on Weaver in turns 1 and 2. He's going to stick it right behind Howard Weaver in turns 3 and 4. Wow, those guys are so close right now. Bergeron should be getting the slide job. No, he's going to keep it upstairs right now. Continue to ride the cushion in turns 1 and 2. Weaver into the wall for turn number 2. He's still going to hang on to second right now. Bergeron in 3rd. Can we go back and have a look and try and have a look for a battle on the racetrack? 3 wide for about 11th and 12th right now. Virgil Graham, Chris Arencia, and Josh Phillips, and here comes Garrett Nieberge.
Man, I tell you, these guys, man, are all over the place, and you're right, back there, 11th, 12th, 13th spot. Josh Phillips, Garrett Nieberge, man, Virgil Graham, Austin Carr in the mix, Chris Arencia back there, Jason Leverstein. I mean, they are just 2 and 3 wide. Caution is out. It's got to be
2, I think. Ian Blanchard.
Oh, yep, he's around on the track back there. Let's go back and see. It's like just a single car affair back there. Might have just caught the cushion. Let's see, he's coming in the turn. Yeah, he caught that bump we talked about earlier on, and it upset the car. Then 11, I just came in there and just gave him an uppercut.
Well, we did call it the USC here at the dirt track at Charlotte. As wow, tell you what, this track being 0.4 of a mile at the I tell you what, he's going to play a part, and we say it's not every week, but it's lap traffic. I mean, we're normally used to the big half mile. It's not quite a half mile, it's a little bit shorter than a half mile, but the way these guys catch lap traffic, especially running the cushion, if the lap cars are running the cushion, or if they're battling with a guy that's on the cushion or a guy that's on the low side of the racetrack, that's where the leaders are going to have to sort of be mindful, and it's where a race is going to be either won or lost.
Absolutely, and you talk about that. It actually is one of the shortest tracks here. I didn't realize that at about almost 4/10, about a little over a quarter of a mile, and not quite half mile here. So really is actually, it doesn't look that small in comparison to some of the other tracks, though.
No, it actually looks kind of like an Eldora, just without the inside wall and a big pusher, and not so much banking. Look, I'm going to say something next, and only a couple of people are going to get this, and if they're from half factor, they'll know. But look, these guys, they are on top of a cushion on a quarter mile right now. David Harleman, Howard Weaver, Alex Bergeron, your top 3. We are back to green as David Hart looking to pick up His first Super Late Model career win here at Team VLR. Howard Weaver in second. We know he's won a bunch of times. Alex Bergeron, Jason George, and Shane James rounding out your top 5, and Dylan Wilson back up to position number 6.
Yes, they are. So we're going to ride along here with this man, Alex Bergeron, for a second, just to show you what he's working with inside that car. I tell you, it is a handful. That's what it looks like right there.
To the wall.
Contact between them.
No, Weaver just smoked the wall into turn number 3, smoked the whole opening stretch. The car spun around Bergeron, Wilson. They all had nowhere to go. Jason George got around, but the 07 of Howard Weaver absolutely tore that wall. He's trying to tear that wall down. I mean, buddy, there's a cushion before the wall.
Yeah, and Alex Bergeron just nowhere to go, a victim of circumstance right there. Like you just said, Howard Weaver went up into the wall, caught the wall, couldn't get off of it, spun around. Alex Bergeron nowhere to go there. And I think Alex might have got the worst end of that, man. The car's all crumpled up on the left side. Let's see if that hurts him or not, you know?
Yeah, it just, he's, looks like, okay, so, all right, so they essentially gave Bergeron the end of line penalty, but they just told him to stay where he is, and they're actually going to penalise the 07 of Howard Weaver for the cause of that caution. So he will go to the back, and I can tell you right now, he's going to be PI55ED. Sitting in that 07 was running second, and it only takes one mistake on top of a cushion right now, and that's exactly what happened. He makes that mistake, and he's going to get put back to about that 21st spot. And,
that's just part of racing right there. It's how they police the things out here as far as moderator goes. Appreciate it, IU out there. It was kind of good timing there, being in car, and then boom, Bergeron just nowhere to go. Got in contact with him. We got to see if that damage is going to hurt him. Now, Shane James and that 3's behind him. He's got a little bit. And I won't be surprised if anybody does come out of here, free and clear tonight without any damage. If anybody needs any used parts, definitely check these guys out. Virtual ones anyways.
There's already been plenty so far. I mean, there's probably enough here to probably build another race car right now. I tell you, just having a look at the hard charges at the moment. Okay, we'll name a few. Chris Arencia 19 up to 11th, Austin Carr 22nd up to 9th, Jacob Leverstein 21st up to 7th. But how about the 9 of Jason George from 16th up to position number 2? And he's been clean at the moment. He's almost one of the only cars that have got to look like got a straight race car right now. But we're back underway. 20 down, 30 laps left to run here in tonight's main event. Who will take home? Round number 3 is going to be David Harleman, Jason George, Alex Bergeron, or another one of the drivers at the moment. Your top 3 ride the cushion, nose to tail, off of turn number 4.
Yes, they are, and the Harlemaniacs are screaming high right now because the 21 of David is out front, but he's got pressure by Jason George, who is bringing that high line, and he's bringing Alex Bergeron, and we're under caution.
I'm just trying to have a look to see the culprit. I have no idea who that was. Maybe
it involved a 3, Shane James.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's had a lot of bad luck tonight.
Oh, got in the back of the 80 of Dylan Wilson. Dylan was slow on the bottom, and he's got around and then turned the 80 around. They got going right there, but just one of those deals where no place to go. You come up on a guy really quick, and boom.
Yeah, well, okay, I kind of don't want to blame anyone for this one because, Dylan Wilson's sliding up the racetrack. He's lost all his momentum. Shane James has had a run on that cushion, the mid part of that corner. By the time he has that run, there's no time to react to cross back underneath him. So, I mean, it sucks for both drivers at the moment. Dylan Wilson actually getting penalised for that one.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with that call. I'm going to say that was just a pure racing incident. But,
yeah. And I agree with you.
We're not the admins. We're not the admins. We're in the booth. And there's a reason why we're up in the booth.
Yeah, and then you know what? And that's one thing I do. We come up here. We do see the you can call the green off or call the green flag off here and go one more time around. But yeah, that's why we stay up here. I stay up here in the booth and kind of get out of that and let the admins do their job. But I'm like you. It does look like just one of those kind of met in the middle deal. The 80 down there lost his momentum, slid up the track. The 3 had nowhere to go, and just was a contactor in the middle of the track. So racing is racing.
Dirt track short racing. That's
Yes.
that's all it is. It's just short track racing. It's part of Speedway. It's going to happen. But look, tell you what, at the moment, the 21 of David Heilemann is your race leader. Jason George, Alex Bergeron, Shane James, and Chase Cabray. Your top 5 are Jacob Leverstein, the Cubiano, Austin Carr in 7th, Jacob Fields 8th, Virgil Graham 9th, and Chris Orencia inside, all sitting in 10th position. At the moment, we've had 22 laps complete, and Chase Cabray, not sure what's going on with him. Is he's just gone in front of the field?
I'm not sure. I think we're going by green flag racing.
Green flag.
Yeah, we're back green flag. David Heilemann wasting no time. They are 4 wide back there with Shane James, the 777 machine. Jacob Levenstein, excuse me, he's back in the mix with the 18 of Austin Carr throwing it on the inside.
Carr looking for a top 5 right now on the low side. We've seen Molnar do this last week at Eldora. This time a new track with a new cushion. You'd think that the top side is where it's at, but Austin Carr running that low side of the racetrack. Now Leverstein looking to the outside, trying to keep an eye on your battle right now for 2nd and 3rd as Jason George trying to fend off a charge from the 6 of Alex Bergeron. James back there in 4th by himself. Leverstein now gets around the outside of Austin Carr. They go into 3 and 4. Carr continuing to run the low side of the racetrack. There's still a fair bit of grip down there, but it's just that cushion coming off the corners right now is where it's at right now. And they're 3 wide at turn 2.
Yes, they are. Battle right now going on for that 4th, 5th, and 6th place spot. That would be Shane James, Jacob Levenstein right there, and Austin Carr, who is still he is still hooked down to the low line. He is using that, but here comes Jacob on the high side. It's amazing that the 18 car is committed to that low line as everybody else is up high.
Bergeron jumped the cushion in turns 3 and 4. Thankfully, he was about nearly a whole corner ahead of your 4th place car of Shane James, so he didn't lose any spots. Oh, Carr 4 wide off. Mr. Renzi with a slip. On Fields is with 3 wide down the back straightaway. Graham on the low side, Leverstein through the middle. Car. He chucks in, cuts back down on the low side. Then 3 wide off turn number 4 again. Carr, this time back to the inside. Leverstein, Graham up top, Fields as well up top, but Orencia right through the middle, but Austin Carr making it work on the bottom of the racetrack.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a midnight fight here at Charlotte Dirt right now with these super late models, with the steel that they are throwing around here at this track. The 18s on the inside of Austin Carr right there. The 777 machine of Jacob Levenstein up high. The 42 of Virgil Graham. But look out, here comes that 007 of Jacob Fields in the mix, along with Chris Orencia. There are about 4 or 5 machines right there that are just back to back, side to side, duking it out.
Fields, just as you said, that jumped the cushion on the exit of turn number 2. He loses a couple of spots there to Orencia and Fiddler. As he now Fields are going to get back by Fiddler and drives back around the outside of Orencia. So that Elite 7 Racing, or the Elite 7 chassis team right now in the 007, Jacob Fields makes another mistake, and he's been working on that top side since the drop of the green flag in qualifying. No, I think he qualified 2nd from memory. Now back around the outside of his teammate Fiddler. But how about this? Graham on the top side, Carr on the low side. Give it to Virgil Graham as they come out of turn number 2. Here comes the 007. 19 laps left here to run here at the dirt track at Charlotte.
Yeah, it is, and they are beating and banging. Austin Carr's on the inside, the 42 of Virgil Graham up high, but here comes the 007, like you said, of Jacob Fields. He's in the mix there as they are running that high line. David Heilemann still out front by 2.3 seconds right now. Jason George is sitting in 2nd, Alex Bergeron 3rd, Shane James 4th. Jacob Levenstein sitting in the 5th place, and you go back to this battle we're watching here with a 42 of Virgil, a 007 of Jacobs, and Austin Carrs. These guys are just knocking each other around.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. This time, we are in heavy lap traffic right now. David Heilemann running right through the middle in turns 1 and 2. The battle on for 2nd. George and Bergeron still nose to tail. They get around a couple of lap cars. Now Heilemann goes back to the cushion in 3 and 4. In fact, he jumps the cushion. He has to get out of the gas big time right now, as he's got quite a few lap cars in front of him. The other arm of Jason George starts to close in on the 21. Down the back straightaway, Heinemann continuing to lead on the cushion. The 9 is coming right now. He's got that right rear hooked up on the cushion. And that lead is just evaporated right now. A battle on for the race lead. Lap car up top and lap car down low.
Yeah, it is. He's got to be careful to get past these lap machines, but he's also got to worry about that 9 in his rear view mirror. Jason George. George is in the wall, though. That's going to hurt his momentum. That's going to help Alex Bergeron run in here. Can the 21, David Heilemann, caution is out.
Yeah, the 30 of Robert Schaefer and the 56 of Mike Molnar. Schaefer just spun in front of the 56 of Molnar, and the Molnar slid up the racetrack and just caught Alex Bergeron a little bit there as well. So, I mean, just to add more damage to that number 9 machine. And what about that lap traffic battle then? Because I said it earlier on in the broadcast, if these guys have got cars that are, battling for positions, but they got the leader behind them. You got a lap car up top, lap car down low. You've got to be careful. Not only do you got to be careful of where those guys are running, but you got to be careful of what you're doing, and also the cars behind you as well. So, I mean, it's very pivotal right now that David Holm and that caution came out just at the right time for him, because he's now got a clear track to go. I think we've got 14 laps left to run.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right there. It's just like any other short track or anything. These guys have to watch out for lap down vehicles out there. And, it's usually the lap guys, they're very mindful. They'll get out the way or try to if they can, especially if the leader's a lot faster. Dirt track, it might be a little bit different, though, because you got to be a little more careful as far as the oval side of things. You can see a guy coming up on you pretty quick. Here, these guys, man, are already out of control sideways, so you got to be very careful and up front. But we saw the 9 of Jason George. He was running down David Heilemann on that last run there, so maybe this is what David wanted to see, a caution to get him out of trouble with that lap traffic.
Yeah, it's exactly what he wanted, but I'll tell you what, it's as you said, I mean, lap cars will try and go through it quickly. Lap cars, they've got to be they've got a right to be on the racetrack as well. If they're battling for position, I'm not just going to give up that position because the leaders are coming. The leaders have got to work for it. We're going back to green flag racing. David Heilemann, 14 laps left to run. For round number 3 here at the dirt track at Charlotte, as Leverstein almost got into the back of Alex Bergeron. 3 wide again. Fields, Graham, and Austin Carr right now. That is side by side. Graham gone to the low side in 3 and 4. Leverstein hooks the right rear in the cushion and powers back around the outside of the 42.
Yes, he does. A 007 machine there. Contact. He gets in the back end of the 42 of Virgil Graham. It doesn't spin him around. That was a good driving job by Virgil to hold on to that machine as Chris Arenci up there. Now he's on the back deck lid of the 18 machine there of Austin Carr. That's a 5th place battle going on. Here comes the 115 of John Fiddler back into the mix. Well, I tell you what, the battle is on back here from about 5th on back.
Yeah, they are certainly not wasting any time. And Howard Weaver has made his way up into almost the top 10 after being sent to the rear of the field right now. Oh, it turns the 80 of Dylan Wilk. And we are going to have another caution on the racetrack.
Guess what, Brett? He made it all the way up, but I got a feeling that right there. Now, again, I'm no admin, but he got in the back of the 80. And if, any indication, that might send him back to the back again.
Yeah, look from where I stood. It just, I'm not playing any favourites here, but the 07's already in pit lane, so I'm not sure whether his night is done for or not. But that 07 is going to park it on the infield, and that'll be Howard Weaver's night done. So he'd be bitterly disappointed after starting out of position number 3, running in second there. And I guess it all kind of went wrong as when he hit that opening wall going into turn number 3. So
yeah, and and that's just racing, and so it's part of it. Sometimes you have a good night, sometimes you don't, and then this is a new track to a lot of these guys. It's an unknown out here, unknown for us up here in the booth, unknown for these guys out here. And the reason I say that is because, folks, this thing just came out today here on iRacing. So if anything, these guys have only had maybe, 8 hours, if that, to be able to run on it. Probably less than that time to run and practice on this and do a setup here, let alone to get this place right. So new track, new build, like we said, with the cushion and all being implemented here with the dynamics. Definitely is just something unique, and these guys, they'll get it right before it's over with. We'll start seeing a lot of these guys, the Howard Weaver and all, they'll get this track and they'll come back to the front.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And Jason George from 16th up to position 2, as I said earlier on. Jacob Leverstein, 21st, up to position 4. Austin Carr, the Cuban, from 22nd up to position number 5. Chris Arenzi as well, another
Cuban?
notable. Yeah, well, look, that goes back. Look, I've known Austin for about 5 or 6 years or something like that. But, you know, he gave me permission. I got a message just before this main. He goes, you can call me Cuban on stream. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm down with that. If I've got his permission, I don't need anybody else's permission. We get set to go back to green flag racing. 39 laps complete, 11 laps left to run. And just as Chris Arencia from 19th up to position number 6 as well. So he's done a good job. We're getting set to go back to green. 11 laps left to run. David Harleman, can he hang on for the final 11 laps? Will Jason George pickpocket him at the line? And Carr goes back to the low side, looking to the inside of Jacob Leverstein. Arencia and John Fiddler as well, side by side into turn number 3 and 4. 10 laps left to run.
Man, I tell you what, Alex Bergeron made a move right there to try to get around that man for the second place spot. Here comes Jason Levenstein. He's got pressure, but he's coming up to the front. As you look at Jacob Fields back there with the 18. Austin Carr all night long has went on the inside. He has used it. They're 3 wide coming out of the turn.
Yeah, great battle going on for about 6 at the moment right now. Fields on the outside of Arencia. Fields pushing down the straightaway into 3 and 4. Fields with a big slide job on Leverstein. Leverstein crosses back underneath him at Fields. He gets that cushion off a turn number 4 and puts himself back up to position number 4. Meanwhile, Bergeron and Jason George, they're still going at it right now. 7 laps left to run while these 2 battles are going on behind the race leader between George and Bergeron. It's allowing the 21 to really start to clear away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, David is loving what he's seeing in his rear view mirror. He says, Jason, Alex, y'all just tear each other apart back there like a bunch of wild dogs. And that's what they're doing here in the dirt. They're just throwing up some dust here at Charlotte. They are 4 wide. Virgil Graham back there with John Fiddler and company. Look at that, 3 wide. Here comes the 06 there, Albert. He's sticking his nose in there up underneath Josh Phillips.
Phillips through the middle. Perez on the low side. And Fiddler, he was also through the middle as well, but he was Carr out of that 3 wide battle right now. Meanwhile, look at Phillips and, Fields and Leverstein, the 2 Jacobs going at it right now. Bergeron has fallen off big time. He's gone to the low side. I think Bergeron's either out of fuel. I'm pretty sure he's going to be tight on fuel because that number 6 machine is very, very slow, and that's going to give a podium spot as he pulls to the infield. Now that's going to give position number 3 to Jacob Leverstein right now. And we've only got probably less than 3 to go.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's the first time we've seen that. You're right. He just pulled off. Looks like probably out of fuel out here. And that begs the question, who else out here can last at the 777 machine? Jacob Levenstein right there up to 3rd. Yellow flag, and that's going to put an end to it.
Wow.
Over a
2-second lead. We're going to have a green-white checker, and with a 2-second lead, that is just, it gets evaporated right now. But with the way that Heileman's been running that top side of the racetrack, I don't think Jason George has got anything for him here.
No, he's not. I mean, right now David's going to need the start of his life here on this one. You know, I forgot we don't count the yellow flags, so I'm sorry about that, folks. We're not done. And normally we would be in any other circumstance with less than 3 to go. If caution came out, it would be over with. But tonight they don't count the yellow flags. So we're out here, and I agree with you there, Brett. That 9 has tried everything he possibly can. But you got to look out that 777 of Jacob Levenstein and Jacob Fields back there in the 4th place spot. Don't count out Chris Arencia either. He's been able to make some moves. So not only does Jason have to worry about try to see if he can't get around David, he's got to worry about those 3 machines behind him also.
What does play in favor of Heileman and also Jason George is their single file restarts. David has to put 8 more corners together to pick up victory here for round number 3 and the first race here at the dirt track at Charlotte for Team VLR and also X.Celerated. But Jason George, he's also going to get that start. He's also going to make sure that he hits that cushion like he wants to, like he's done throughout the previous 48 laps. If he's going to want a chance to stick it on podium here, because Leverstein and Fields, they've both been fast. We've seen Jacob Fields virtually, he started up front, got sent to the back. He's been through the middle. He's back up front. Vice versa. We're getting set to go green. A green-white checker is out, and we are back underway. David Harlan with a good start over Jason George, and an even better launch from Jason George. The battle on for third right now as Leverstein trying to fend off a charge from Fields Arencia. Fiddler and Austin Carr in there as well. The white flag is out. One more circle around the racetrack for David Harleman. Can he hang on? He's now got 2 turns to go as he comes down the back straight away.
Yes, he does. The battle right now is for 4th, 5th, and 6th place spot. Chris Arencia, Jacob Fields, Jason Levenstein. You got John Fiddler. They are 3 wide out of the turn here. Almost 4 wide coming to the flag.
And that is the checkered flag, as the cars have been told to stop on the back straightaway. So the results as they come across the line should be official. So if you can, you should be able to grab those up. If not, it's all good.
Yeah, should be David Heileman.
Yellow.
Correct. Jason George, Jacob Leverstein, your top 3. Jacob Fields, Chris Arencia, John Fiedler, Austin Carr, Virgil Graham, 8th, 9th, Albert Perez, Garrett Niebury, 10th. You go back to Josh Phillips, Mike Molnar, Ian Blanchard, Dalton Connor, Robert Schaefer, 15th, Lane Walker, Alex Bergeron, Dylan Wilson, Howard Weaver, Shane James, 20th, Chase Cabaret, Drew Phillips, and Ken Short.
We got David Heileman. 2nd place man was I know Jacob Levenstein was 3rd, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. And Jason George was 2nd. Let's see if we can get those guys
down here. Yeah, put them down here in the
so we got 1st and 3rd.
Yeah, looking for Jason George. See him anywhere?
I do not. But
me either. But that's all right. Well, we'll bring up the man right here, Jacob Levenstein. We'll get a talk in with him here tonight. Man's did it good. I'll let you get a talk in with him here, Brett.
All right. So standing by here with the 3rd place car, the 777, after starting out of position number 21. Jacob, congratulations on a hard-fought drive, and 3rd place was good enough in the end.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really happy with the 3rd place. My car was super fast all night, but that cushion up there, it's real hard to drive. Just this new update that come out, it's you really have to wheel these things now.
All right. So before we sort of go any further, just tell us what it's like to run a super late model around the here at the dirt track at Charlotte along that cushion, and to try and do it for 50 laps.
It's really hard. You just got to try to keep it out of that wall and not hop the berm at all. Just hold on for dear life, pretty much. Just hold the throttle down, pretty much almost, and just hold on.
And what was it like coming from that 11th row on the inside? Knowing that you had a lot of fast guys in front of you, and did you think that you had a chance at a top 3?
I knew my car was really fast. I didn't think I'd make it all the way up to the top 3 just because of all the mayhem going on, but I definitely thought I was going to be able to make it up into the top 5. My goal was to at least finish in front of Dylan Wilson, which I think I did. So, I did. So, for points and stuff, that was my main goal, was just finish in front of him.
Look, man, it's overall, what do you think the track is like here at the dirt track at Charlotte, considering it's the first time that we've seen it here in the series?
With this new update, I really think it really is a really good track. I think the bottom could be a little bit better, but it was really fun driving this track, and I've been practicing on here all day, and it's been super fun, just the way these cars drive now, and the way Charlotte is. It's just a super fun track.
Well, congratulations on the 3rd. No doubt. I'm sure you got some sponsors you want to thank.
I want to thank Foxhound Graphics, and that's it.
All right, good job on 3rd place. So that was Jacob Leverstein.
Well, we got up Jason George out there now, man who pulled it up here. I believe it was in the 2nd place spot, 3rd place spot, second. So we'll bring him up here, man, and get a talk in with him here tonight at the awesome dirt track. I mean, Brett, real quick, like I say, the action tonight was just nonstop. I mean, these guys did I was listening to the interview there, and I could feel for these guys. Been out there how rough that track was and how well they were wheeling these things around. But it was awesome. So let's bring up our second place man, Jason George, and let you get talking with him.
All right, so we're down here with the number 9 machine of Jason. From 16th up to 2nd, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Talk about your race there. You know, you sort of got towards the front of the field sort of early on, and just sort of trying to avoid the wrecks that are happening in front of you.
Yeah, the track was different. I ain't used to running on it, and just had to stay clean.
I think there was a couple of times, well, actually before the last yellow, I think with might have been about 11 to go, actually the second last caution. You know, David was sort of in lap traffic. You know, you and Alex were starting to catch him at that point. You know, with 11 to go with lap traffic, you know, in front of you. Did you think that you had a chance to win, considering, you know, in about 1.5 laps, you know, you knocked off about 2 and a bit seconds?
Yeah, I was thinking I could get up there with him, but I didn't really know what the lap traffic was going to do. So, you know, just one of those things.
Talk about that high line, you know, that cushion. You know, with it sort of being added today, you know, how do you go about approaching, you know, 50 laps?
Yeah, you just got to be careful there. When you go with, you got to be committed. If you're going to take it, just go with it and hang on. Hope for the best.
All right, man. Well, look, well done on picking up 14 spots and starting on the outside of Rona Brayton, coming home with a second. I'm sure you got some sponsors you want to thank.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Max Speed TV and Elite 7 and Water Truck Productions and my good old buddy Zach there at Fink on Twitch there.
All right, well, there we have it, Joe. That was Jason George from 16th up to position number 2, and not a bad race for him.
No, it's not, and we're going to go down here to our winner tonight here, David Heileman, with the Heilemaniacs, man, and I know they're going to be screaming high and just cheering him on here for the first night here, first running here from the dirt track of Charlotte for the VLR X.Celerated tonight. Big 3 in the super late models. David Heileman, Joe White and Boots, got a copy?
I got you, man.
Man, I tell you what, you look fine out there running. How was the track and how was the car running at this place?
Hey, that track was beautiful. I'm just gonna say it was beautiful. There was a lot of salty drivers out there tonight. I loved it. Every update I race it just gets better because it always seems to benefit me somehow.
Well, it definitely did. You put it in victory lane here tonight, and you look good up there doing it. Now, take us through the new addition here, making that cushion up there on the top. Almost looks like a banking now. It's not as flat as what it was. It actually builds up throughout the race here. Take us back to how that might upset or how it's different to run that now in these tracks.
Well, even before this update, I always kind of considered myself one of the better drivers on the high side. You know, especially when the track was super worn. So I mean, I don't know. I didn't have any laps on the track at all before the practice in the server, and during the practice in the heats, the thing was bumpy as all heck. I mean, even down the straightaways, you know, the cushion was kind of forming there. So I really didn't know what to do with it. But then once we got in the feature server, it was pretty smooth right from the start and got bumpier towards the end. But yeah, I was just able to hang on.
Yeah, no doubt, and able to hang on here for the first run in here at the dirt track here at Charlotte tonight for the VLR X.Celerated Big 3 Series and the super late models here tonight. Well, David, you got anybody out there you want to thank?
I just want to thank Team VLR, of course. They hooked me up with a setup. I mean, I only ran the default one, which I didn't think was too bad in the heats, but yeah, just, I don't know, started 7th, got to the front, you know, a little bit of luck, but, you know, have to thank X.Celerated for sponsoring the Big 3 Series. I am all sweaty from running that race now, so might have to go over to Dirt Collective and pick up some new merch from them, so I look fresh and clean in Victory Lane. Shout out to them for sponsoring the sprint car season every Sunday. Check it out. And thanks OSRN for putting this on so we can see the late models on a Tuesday night.
Hey,
I love this. I'm really glad we did this.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Sorry about that, but I appreciate it as always. And you're right. I bet it is tiring out there. I always say I got enough problems walking straight rather than try to drive sideways like you guys do. But again, David Heileman with the Heilemaniacs out there. Tonight's winner here at Charlotte. Well, Brett, wow. That's all I got to say on that one. That's just, I mean, and I moved Brett out
Well,
All right, Brett, I just threw you out the booth, man. I'm sorry. I'll do that again. I'm trying to move the other guy, and I moved you out of it. My bad. Well, I mean, but again here, Brett, I mean, we saw it from the heat races to the mains to the feature here. First time here on this track here at the dirt track of Charlotte. New build, and it was just electric from the green all the way here to the last race. Hey, you got any final words on this one?
Just, but I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it. It's been fun the past couple of weeks. So, look, thanks to yourself for allowing me in the booth for these last sort of 2 races for myself. Anyway, here on a Tuesday night for the Super Late Models. But man, it's if the last 2 weeks are to go by anything, I'll tell you what, the race fans are certainly in for one heck of a treat for the remaining 9 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're right, for the remaining 9 weeks here. And, you know, as always, I appreciate Brett being up here in the booth with me. It's exciting. The man definitely brings some action-packed, and him mix it up well up here. But I'll have Blake up here back with me next week, as Brett's going to be on some other commitment he's got to do on the Tuesdays. But, again, we appreciate him being up here. And it was exciting. We appreciate these drivers here tonight putting on a show. I mean, it's just, that's the word I got to use. They put on a show. Well, if you like that, tune in tomorrow night, because they got the other big 3, the UMPs tomorrow night here at the VLR series, and one of the big 3s, and myself, well, I've got Daytona tomorrow night, so at OSR Network. But either way, if you like dirt or asphalt, tune in. We got a lot of action, man, the rest of the week. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Everyone have a good night.